What defines a fighter's legacy? Is it the thunderous knockouts? The collection of world title belts? Is it the names on their resume, a hit list of legends and champions they've conquered? For Saul Canelo Alvarez, it's all of the above. The Mexican icon is a walking, talking piece of boxing history, a man who has stared across the ring at the best of his generation, and more often than not, emerged with his hand raised. His journey has been nothing short of breathtaking. Now, with a colossal showdown against the masterful Terence "Bud" Crawford, looming on September 13th at the electrifying Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Canelo is poised to add yet another legendary chapter to his saga. A fight against an undefeated, pound-for-pound king like Crawford is the stuff of dreams, a legacy-defining clash that will be etched into the annals of the sport forever. For Canelo, this is just another day at the office. The blinding lights, the crushing weight of expectation, the fate of boxing history resting on his shoulders. He's been there, done that. He thrives in the fire. But as we look ahead to this monumental event, it's impossible not to look back. Because for all the spectacular victories and undisputed championships, Canelo's career is also shadowed by moments of intense controversy, moments that remind us that sometimes the toughest fight happens outside the ropes, with the pens of the judges. And no controversy looms larger or feels more raw to this day than the night his rivalry with Gennady "GGG" Golovkin began, and one judge's scorecard sent shockwaves of disbelief and anger through the entire sporting world. The fight we all waited for. Let's take a trip back to 2017. The air in the boxing world was thick with anticipation. Two titans of the middleweight division were on a collision course. Canelo Alvarez, the young, powerful, counter-punching superstar from Mexico, and Gennady Golovkin, the terrifying, undefeated Kazakh knockout artist with a granite chin and a relentless, stalking pressure. Fans didn't just want this fight, they needed it. The backstory was already simmering with tension. Golovkin had been the mandatory challenger for Canelo's WBC title, but negotiations stalled and Canelo eventually vacated the belt, which was then awarded to GGG. It felt like a dodge, and it only fueled the narrative that Canelo was avoiding the most feared man in the division. So when the two finally signed to fight on September 16, 2017, it was more than a title unification. It was a battle for supremacy, a clash of styles, and a fight to answer the question on everyone's mind. Who was the true king? The fight itself was everything we hoped for and more. It was a breathtaking, 12-round ballet of brutality and brilliance. GGG, the hunter, marched forward relentlessly, snapping his piston-like jab and searching for a home for his devastating power shots. Canelo, the matador, used slick head movement, masterful defense, and explosive counter-punches that thudded against Golovkin's body and head. The rounds were close, fiercely contested, and filled with drama. GGG seemed to control the pace and land with more frequency, but Canelo's shots were visibly heavier and more eye-catching. As the final bell rang, the two warriors stood center ring, a mutual respect shared between them after a classic war. Most fans, pundits, and ringside observers felt GGG had done just enough. He had outlanded Canelo in 10 of the 12 rounds and had been the aggressor throughout. A close, hard-fought victory for the man from Kazakhstan seemed the most likely and just outcome. And then the scorecards were read. The scorecard that broke boxing's heart. The first score came in 115 to 113 for Golovkin, a reasonable card. The second, 114 to 114, a draw. Tense, but still within the realm of possibility. Then came the final, gut-wrenching announcement from Judge Adelaide Bird, 118 to 110 for Canelo Alvarez. A collective gasp sucked the air out of the T-Mobile Arena. 118 to 110. It was incomprehensible. A score like that meant Bud believed Canelo had won 10 rounds and Golovkin had only won 2. It was a score that didn't just seem wrong. It felt like it came from a different fight on a different planet. It was a betrayal of the incredible competitive war everyone had just witnessed. The boos rained down. The result was a split decision draw, and Canelo retained his titles, but no one was celebrating. The night had been tainted. In the post-fight press conference, the raw emotion poured out. GG's normally stoic trainer, Abel Sanchez, couldn't hide his disgust. "I thought that one of the judges had her card filled out before she came to the fight," he said, his voice laced with frustration. "But that's unfortunate, that in Vegas, they seem to go to different schools to learn how to judge a fight." The fallout was immediate and immense. Adelaide Byrd became the story, her name synonymous with judging incompetence or, as many fans darkly whispered,